So let's go ahead and break down some of this disclosure stuff, folks. Okay, now this is on the Hill. Chris Mellon wrote this. He's part of To the Stars Academy, part of the slow disclosure program by the government. Friend, foe, or unknown force flying overhead. Congress should find out. This is part to push the people, to get Congress on board so we can do this. Because if you can get Congress involved, they're talking about UFOs, acclimate the public to being more aware of this stuff, it's going to work. That's their plan, initiative for making this work. Do we got time for this? Because they're such a threat, you know? They're a big threat. So I highlighted a few things in the article here. Since 2015, dozens of Navy F-18 fighter jets have encountered unidentified aerial phenomenon, UAPs. They're going back to that term now again, folks. Once commonly referred to as UFOs, off the east coast of the United States, some not far from the nation's capital. Encounters have been reported by other military aircraft and civilian airliners elsewhere in the U.S. and abroad too, including videos shot by airline passengers. What these UAPs were and who were flying them, whether friend, foe, or unknown forces, remains a mystery. Are you sure about that? Where's that? Where is that? I gotta use this. It's on here. It's been sitting on here. Where the hell is it? Oh, I gotta go right here. This is perfect for this, folks.
Are you sure about that?
There it is. Are you sure about that? So, military personnel rarely report these encounters for fear of damage to their careers. They just fix that with the new Navy reporting. Supposed to make them more comfortable coming out about this stuff, get them talking a little bit, get it on the news, and then get the public up to speed. All Congress needs to do at this juncture is require the Secretary of Defense and the Director of National Intelligence to review the UAP issue and deliver a report providing a comprehensive assessment. This report should include not only an estimate of the situation, but a description of the structure and processes required to ensure the effective collection and analysis going forward. The Trump administration should be free to provide the report at whatever level of classification it deemed appropriate. To the Stars Academy proposal does not require new Defense Department funding. That's a big one because we don't want to use any more money. And at the end of the day, it's like, let's quit using the taxpayers' money for a bunch of this crap when they've already developed this stuff. And now they got to have the civilian stuff developed just because they don't want to release the black project budget stuff that they've been having for so freaking long already. Gets freaking annoying. So the article continues, why should Congress act? In the first instance, because it's Congress's job to raise, organize, and fund the military. It can hardly do so without being fully aware of the threat. There it is. The threats we face. Yes. They're going to push this threat card. Maybe if they push the threat card, then maybe you can get the Congress to take it seriously. So that could be another angle of why they want to push it this way. Oh, I don't know. This is just getting so ridiculous. I want this stuff out. It's time. And while the Navy's announcement seems to eliminate the prospect that these vehicles are secret U.S. military aircraft. So let me read that again real slowly so that sinks in. And while the Navy's announcement seems to eliminate the prospect that these vehicles are secret U.S. military aircraft, perhaps we'll find that Elon Musk has some amazing new toys. So now they want to try to bring that in about the private sector developing these things or somebody else. Could it be, ladies and gentlemen, could it be Area 51? No way. Some of these vehicles appear to withstand forces of acceleration far greater than maximum design limits of any man-made craft. If UAPs turn out to be toys of Elon Musk's making, we'll all breathe a sigh of relief. If they are Russians, We'll be glad we took action now rather than kicking the can down the road. You kicked the can down the road since 1947 minimum. And now it's like, oh, if it's Russians, we'll be glad we investigate. If it was Russians, they would have taken over the whole United States by now. If we learn that someone else's more advanced version of our Voyager spacecraft has reached Earth, then this is a humble measure will follow transform of our understanding of the universe and man's place within it. So there it is at the last sentence, folks. Could be alien. Again, this was written by Christopher Mellon. He's on the To the Stars Academy project, slow disclosure by the government. He was also a former Deputy Assistant Defense Secretary for Intelligence from 1999 to 2002. That was the first article. That one was, I think that one was released on Sunday, and then they pushed out another one. This one's been reported on a lot. Jordan Sather talked about this one on his show. Wow, what is that? Navy pilots report unexplained flying objects. This is all gearing up here, folks, for their TV show that premieres this Friday. So it says strange objects, one of them spinning like tops. One of them spinning top, moving against the wind, appeared almost daily from summer of March 2014 to March 2015. 30,000 feet and hypersonic speeds. These things would be out there all day, says Lieutenant Ryan Graves. He's been in the Navy for 10 years. So that's the big thing about this disclosure. They want to put the pilots on here. They're going to be on their show as well, doing farther in-depth interviews along with other objects they discover. 10 years of experience. You're a pilot. You're out there. You see things all the time. Use their words to try to get the public acclimated to this thing. Now, you got to sit and think about this unidentified broadcast. How much, you see this stuff all the time on these history channels, finding Bigfoot, all that crap. The public that needs to see that doesn't watch that channel. They're watching like MTV or Dancing with the Stars or whatever else, Dr. Phil, all that crap. That's what they're watching. That they have to get over there and show this stuff. And maybe that is the plan eventually. I don't know. I wish I had a layout of what they're going to do with all this stuff, because it's probably going to be, 20 years before we finally get things out. Who knows? But anyway, use the pilots because they have the experience and they can show what they've seen, their witness testimony. People will believe them more instead of some tinfoil hat wearing person in a trailer park about it. Quartz Quantum in the chat says sci-fi. I haven't even looked at the sci-fi channel lately. They still have decent stuff on, I think. But that was disclosure. Ancient Aliens, yeah, this was all part of that stuff. And this is it's just another thing to that puzzle. By the way, I started watching Project Blue Book on the History Channel. Wow. You want to talk about disclosure? That's basically going through telling you it was from this guy, this doctor's testimony in the projects dealing with Project Blue Book. Then you got these military personnel that are trying to cover it up from the public, putting them out there so they can give a logical explanation to it all. Admitted. They had Warner von Braun in there. He had I shouldn't even spoil alert. Maybe I won't say anymore, but it's crazy stuff here, folks. So the article continues. No one in the Defense Department is saying that these objects were extraterrestrial. And experts emphasize that earthly explanations can generally be found for these incidents. They do this a lot with these articles. It's a push, pull, push, pull, push, pull. Maybe it's aliens. It's not, it might not be. We got drones and stuff that can look like that. It's about getting the public to think about all these ideas, I think. And here's the next paragraph of it. It says, some cases these could have been drones. Other cases, we don't know who's doing this. The program parts of it. Oh, this is the important part that I said before when I talked about, I showed that clip of Lewis doing a Q&A. ATEP shut down in 2012, shut down, but parts of it continued to remain going and basically under another name and under classified parts as well. So and then they get this big scientist or astrophysicist here. His name is Leon Golub. Possibly of an extraterrestrial cause is so unlikely. And then they're linking it to more bugs in the code, atmospheric effects and reflection, overload from multiple inputs during high-speed flight. So they're trying to reassure the public here. It's nothing. It's not extraterrestrial force, but Chris Mellon said it could be extraterrestrial, and Luis Elizondo says it's basically extraterrestrial. Tom DeLonge, the CEO, the leader, says it's extraterrestrial, but it's not extraterrestrial. And then it gets into the History Channel series Unidentified Inside America's UFO Investigation to air beginning Friday. Yes, folks, this Friday, May 31st. That is 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. I will have to say that I will be watching it just so I can see what's going on with all that. And I can stay on top of this stuff and break it down. I'm trying to read the chat here and present at the same time. It's the overload. We got a lot going on in here. I'm trying to read everybody's things. So Mike Jackson says, Elizondo says funding stopped, but the program didn't. The official funding stopped. They're still getting funded some way. Rich Fitton Perkins says, I guess we're going to have to be patient. After all, the people who have sat on this for the past 70 years don't want to be lynched. Yeah, that's the thing. When you read these articles, they don't go into the past, what happened before. That's why they basically say, and that's actually the next part of this paragraph here. The pilots began noticing objects after their 1980s era radar was upgraded to a more advanced system. So now they're just going to say that it's this radar and they upgraded it. So now they're seeing things that they didn't see before with it. Even though they've had this stuff long before. Yeah, pedophilia stuff's mainstream. That Isaac, I was looking into that. Oh, what was his last name? The Isaac guy, the actor, basically suicided him. He was talking about Tom Hanks and that. That's some sketchy stuff, folks. That's very sketchy. Nalberto says, didn't DeLonge have some important news for us last year about disclosure? What happened? Basically, DeLonge, last year would have been, they announced the thing 2 years ago, and then they released the videos. And now Isaac Cappy, thank you guys. Crazy stuff. Oh, man, there's a lot going on in the chat. I'm trying to keep up with you guys. Yeah, murdered by Tom Hanks. I shouldn't even be saying these trigger words on here.
Oh, yeah.
Because they'll probably take my video down. You got to be careful with this. I actually kind of wanted to look into some of that stuff and present it. I mean, I obviously looked into it. I want to look into it more, get in deeper, and I wanted to present some stuff on here. But it'll probably get pulled. I guess I could have it up on the backup sites. Yeah, Cappy, Marco says, what happened with Cappy? Well, he was basically exposing this pedophile stuff from the Hollywood, the people that were involved, Tom Hanks and a bunch of others, even a high director. Was it Cameron? Steven Spielberg? No, it was James Cameron. Involved in that stuff. And then Tom Hanks, what was it, a month before or a few weeks before, posts a video on his Twitter of a glove in the same road where Cappy died and basically said, oh, man, I should try to find that real quick, but I'd do it if I had another person talking to take away the dead air. But basically saying that people die and then it's the same road. Oh man, it's just crazy stuff. Oh, so Mike says it was Spielberg. Yeah, maybe it was Spielberg. Yeah. Oof. That's tough because Spielberg's good for the disclosure initiative too as well. But that goes back to the cover up about all this stuff because this was in the cards before the election. Hillary was supposed to get elected. She was supposed to be the disclosure one, bringing this out slowly. But then they shifted gears because they had to. And then you get DeLong, who is anti-Trump, which if you do a little research, you see how corrupt Hillary is. I don't know how you can support her, but he does. And Podesta as well. Crazy stuff. Now, here's an interesting part in this article I want to touch upon because you get into the dimension shifts, and this is in the mainstream article here on the Times. After picking up the object on his radar, he set his plane to merge with it, flying 1,000 feet below it. He said he should have been able to see it with his helmet cam, but could not, even though his radar told him it was there. So now you get into your radar systems can pick it up, infrared, but you can't see it visually. Well, they're in another dimension. They're there. And I can see why they hold back because a lot of people can't understand this stuff. For us, it's like, of course you can shift dimensions, no problem. You've been looking at this so long. But to the average Joe who watches Dancing with the Stars, they'll have no idea. But like, wow, you can, that's a mind-blowing concept for them. Lieutenant Acoin said a training missile on his jet locked on an object and his infrared camera picked it up as well. I knew I had it. I knew it was not a false hit, he said. But still, I could not pick it up visually, speculating the objects were part of some classified, extremely advanced drone program. And then this pilot says, Grave, it looked like a sphere encasing a cube. So something that's really not conventional. And then here we go at the end again. The near miss, he said, and other pilots interviewed said, angered the squadron and convinced them that the objects were not part of a classified drone program. Government officials would know fighter pilots were training in the area, they reasoned, and would not send drones to get in the way. There it is. So it's not drones, even though that Mr. What the hell was he classified as? Astrophysicist said that it could be a drone. It's all explainable. The pilots are saying it's not. Again, objects accelerating to hypersonic speeds, making sudden stops and instantaneous turns. Talked about for a long time. In your face. And I wanted to show this as well. SpaceX did launch some satellites. Some people thought these were UFOs. I want to play this video because this is important. There's going to be a lot of this stuff, and we need to discern against what's real and what's not. So these are satellites here that he launched into space that are going to eventually beam down internet. The average person seeing that will be, oh, that's UFOs, but you have to really pay attention to these because you got to wait for them to do like a 90 or go hypersonic or do a power-up is an important one too as well. So we don't get disinformation here in the UFO community. It's very important because this stuff will happen a lot more. We get all these private space programs, private industry putting these up there. By the way, that project is SpaceX Starlight Project, where they plan to launch that, or they did launch it, and they're planning to use it for internet. Yeah, like I guess ECETI when I get out there will be very important because wait for that power up, wait for the 90 because the satellites will just go straight like that. So it's very important to discern between those. So I think I'm trying to check the chat here as I go through before we come to a close before the break. Yeah, they're talking in the chat here about some of the other celebrities that said that. We got Seth Green and who was the other one? I just saw it on here. Worson Anna says, please bring Allison Cole on the show. I gotta watch your last video yet. I haven't even watched that last video because there was some new information, wasn't there? It's one of those things. It's like after you got drilled down to about the event not happening, you kind of just like, all right, I'm gonna take a step back and try to recalibrate here and think of things. So we're gonna go out to a break, folks. When we come back, we're gonna talk about some Corey Good stuff, show that video, and then we can get into some deep fakes. Stay with us. Talk is cheap. Dan Hohlfeld, don't go anywhere.
Have your voice heard today. Call into the show at 1-605-562-0444. Show ID 146509.
Please hang up and try again.
Have a comment, question, or topic suggestion? Call our voicemail at 1-256-510-5234. That's 1-256-510-K2D4.
Right now at the K2D4 Network store, we have exciting new products available. First, get your morning started right with the new coffee mugs and signature stickers. Check out the amazing new beach towel. Show your support for the broadcast, even while you're at the beach. The signature Talk is Cheap pillow, available in 3 colors: white, black, and the signature
You are joining
orange.
the online
Keep it
studio.
simple with the Talk is
You
Cheap
are
poster,
unmuted
the same
and can
background
speak with
that
the
is
host.
used in the show. We also have the new Be the Change tee. Give people the reminder that change begins within. All available right now at the K2D4 Network store. Go to K2D4Network.com for more.